Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the NFL Sunday Morning Show right here on the Hardcore Sports Network. I'm here with Football Talk with Bo and Nikki C's, the host of the 3 Point Blitz and the co-host of the NFL Pick'ems right here on the Hardcore Sports Network. How you guys doing?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on cloud nine right now.
Yeah. It's been a little while since the Seahawks have won the West, so cool to get that wrapped up. It's been about 5 years since they won the division, so
hmm Nikki, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling today.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And I'm I don't know why I'm nervous today. I don't know why. It's just like
Rob?
one of the, huh?
I'm just saying hi to the people in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, what is up, guys? What is up? So, yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about the Eagle game today, but that's later. Let's get started with yesterday's games. The Buccaneers defeat the Carolina Panthers. So, Bo, take it off. What did you think about that game?
I mean, it kind of went how I thought it would go. I figured Tampa would get that one. So now, obviously, it's a waiting game for them, right? They need they need the Saints to do something. And let's be honest, the Saints could do it. They've been playing pretty good over the last couple of weeks.
Yep. And what is up, James? How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You got a big game tonight. You got a big game tonight.
Season on the line, man. Playoffs start a week early.
Yes, sir. So we're talking about the Buccaneers and Panthers. Give us your thoughts.
You know what is? I got to watch a decent amount of that game yesterday, and I thought, at times Baker really kind of looked like his old self and was really moving the team down the field well. And then just at weird, inopportune times, not seeing that middle linebacker coming over the middle on his own. It was just like, oh man, that's a tough one for him. But hats off to the Panthers. They never gave up in the game, and you really kind of saw some real bright sides out of Bryce Young and the importance of a young guy like Teteroa McMillan. I thought he was fantastic in that game, really, really helping them have a shot in it when it came down to the final moments. But an exciting game, right? An exciting way to start off, which is what is kind of like a playoff weekend the week before the playoffs start.
Mm-hmm. Nikki.
I mean,
Nikki.
Ultimately for the Panthers, it was they got going a little bit too late. They just need that same spark a little bit sooner, and they could have won that game. And honestly, I kind of wanted the Panthers to win because I felt, based on the way the Bucks collapsed, they didn't really deserve it, and they don't really deserve the division if that does happen, based on the fact they started 6-2 and finished 8-9. So I was kind of pulling for the Panthers, but it happens though. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, so I don't have a dog in the race. It's just hey, it's just a game between two NFC South teams. But the fact that we're even in this position where someone's going to win the division with an 8-9 record for the second time in 4 seasons goes to show you that division, let's just say, we can all agree is the weakest division in football currently.
It is hot trash, yeah.
I mean, at least the Panthers, to their credit, have something. At least Bryce Young has the potential to be something. I don't know if necessarily a superstar, but at least a solid QB, and at least they got something going. And they got a pretty underrated defense, too. So at least they got something going. They just need a few more playmakers on offense before they could really have a shot.
I mean, they're going to get waxed by the Niners anyway. So regardless of who ends up winning that division, that wild card round is going to be rough for them.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to that. But for me, I'm with Nikki on this one. They started a little bit too late. If they started a bit earlier, the comeback, I will feel a lot better. I also had the Panthers to win. The Buccaneers have been losing games for the last couple of weeks, and now they decide to win this one. So I'm like, well,
it would have been perfectly fitting for the Bucs season if the Panthers did pull off the comeback. It would have been a perfect summary of their season. Hot start, terrible finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost was.
Yeah. Oh, Big
Honestly,
C is
question
here.
for
I'm
you
gonna let
guys.
him
Do you
get
think
ready.
even if the Bucs do end up winning the division, that they should move part ways with Todd Bowles at the end of the season?
Ooh, I don't know. I know Agent Warrior had that hot take. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? About Todd Bowles? Do you think the Buccaneers should move on from him after this year?
I don't know how you do. I mean, they've won the division like the last 4 years, and they end up with half of their team hurt, and they're still in the conversation. Like, I don't know how you fire the guy.
Yeah, James.
Yeah, I'm with Bo 100% on this. We've talked about it all season long, trying to figure out whether or not the Buccaneers were going to win with how banged up they were. So I have a tough time holding a coach accountable for injuries on a team. You know, that's not the coach's fault if half the starting lineup's injured. Obviously, you got to try to get everybody prepared, but realistically, you can only go so far down the depth chart before you've got guys that probably should be stocking shelves at Walmart instead of in the league.
Yeah, Big C, what is up, man?
What's going on? Sorry, I'm late.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. We were just talking about the Buccaneers defeating the Panthers. So if you have any thoughts about that game, go for it.
Just a weak division overall, right? It's sad that teams are getting into the playoffs with the records that and some other teams are missing the playoffs. It almost, I like the divisions and the division rivalries, but it almost makes you feel like maybe the best, 6 teams should go to the playoffs. The best 8 teams should go to the playoffs instead of division winners and this and that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like some good teams are left out of the playoffs while you get a mediocre team that, because you were in the NFC South, you get an automatic trip. You know what I mean? This is a bad division and you can't win 10 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just I like Joe's comment here. He's like, because he's a Cowboys fan. He's like, can we get Dallas there so we could be in the playoffs?
I mean, to be fair, the Cowboys might have a chance if they were in that division. So I get where you're coming from.
If the Cowboys were in that division, they'd probably win 12, 13 games.
Either way, the Cowboys. Sorry about that you're a Cowboys fan. I'm sorry.
Kind of off subject, but I don't know if you guys heard that the original proposal back when the Texans joined the league was to move the Ravens to the NFC and put them in the NFC East and then put the Cowboys in the NFC West. Well, obviously that didn't happen, but I've heard that was one of the proposed ideas that obviously got scrapped. Ultimately, it was Bo's Seahawks that moved to the NFC, and they became part of the NFC West.
I mean, that is actually where the Seahawks entered the league. They played one season in the NFC West before moving to the AFC. So that is where they originally jumped in.
Yeah. I wonder how
I wish you were right. I wish there was something more than just coffee in my coffee mug.
Now, if that would have happened, the Cowboys with Tony Romo may have had more home playoff games in that NFC West with the Rams and 49ers being bad at the time.
Sure.
Yeah, but they didn't even get to the playoffs most of the time with Romo, did they?
They had a few 8-8 seasons stuck in, in that NFC East, which was still a competitive division at the time with Coughlin Giants, Reed Eagles. Even Washington from time to time had a decent year.
Yep. I wonder how James would have felt if the Ravens actually left his division. I really want to know.
That'd be a big good riddance, man. I wouldn't miss him for a second.
You would have probably had Indianapolis take that spot in the AFC North, and you would have been stuck with them. Maybe Kansas City in the AFC South probably would have been. I think the AFC East would have been the only division in the AFC that stayed as is.
Well, the East, Miami should be in the South. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, Baltimore's good for the rivalry.
The Dolphins might be the most southern team in the whole NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Do you guys think that they'll actually move some teams around in the future, or they're going to keep it as is?
They're probably going to keep it as is. They got a good system going market-building wise. We know the Cowboys are in the NFC East because big market cities in that whole division. That's how they make their money when those teams are doing good and get those ratings. So they're going to keep that in place.
Yeah,
and I think it's more about the rivalries at this point. You know, all these teams in these divisions, they've got some real rivalries and sometimes even hatred for some of those division opponents. So you move them apart, you're starting off from scratch, and the fan base doesn't care as much, and the players probably aren't as passionate about those matchups either.
I agree with James. That's the
especially
whole
the really-
reason that they won't redo the divisions is because of the rivalries.
Yeah.
Well, especially the really long seeded ones, right? Like the Bears and Green Bay and stuff like that. Like, there's no way you want to split those things up. Cowboys, Eagles, right?
Yeah, Cowboys Eagles is pretty much one of the best rivalries in football, all sports. Actually, you can put them in that conversation. Pittsburgh Ravens. There's a lot of good rivalries that you don't want to mess up by moving into different divisions. So, yeah, we'll see. Can I ask the Steelers fan if he thinks the DK Metcalf's done? He did put them in a bad situation, probably missing the playoffs.
It's true.
It hurt immensely. I think it's a completely different team last week if you've got DK Metcalf on the field. Just the inability for Marquez Valdez-Scantling to make any plays at all. You have to believe that DK makes at least one or two of those. You throw it 3 times in a row in the end zone to Valdez-Scantling, and he only runs the right route once. I do have faith that DK will at least run the right routes and give you a competitive attempt at those balls. I think you probably take care of business last week versus Cleveland instead of having to deal with it this week versus the Ravens. So will this lead to them moving on from him? Absolutely not. He's inside that team. He's been such an upgrade versus what they've had from previous wide receivers. And as much as he's been a problem with this incident with the fan and even with some penalties on the field, you're getting effort on every play, and they haven't seen that since Hines Ward. Even early Antonio Brown, he was a good blocker, and he contributed a lot. Juju spent a lot of time being a good blocker and a good receiver for those first couple of years opposite Antonio. But ever since then, it's just been guy after guy who thinks that they don't have to run their route when it's not coming to them, or if they think it's not coming to them, they don't think they should have to block on running plays. It's just an inexcusable amount of immaturity, and it's a different level of immaturity with DK, but at least he's giving effort on the field, which is something they needed in the worst way. So I think there's no way in the world they move on from him. I think they stick to him the whole way through the contract, unless he does something stupid again in the future and attacks another fan, and then you got no choice. But I think off of one incident, no way they move on.
And they did say that they weren't they weren't going to void any of the guaranteed money. So, I mean, they've shown that they are sticking with their guy.
Yeah.
If you're that fan, what's your initial thought process? Because my initial thoughts like, I'm rich. I'm rich. I came to an NFL game. They hit me. I'm rich.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what he was saying in the stands afterwards. He got captured on camera by a lot of other fans saying that was the goal.
Yeah, I got box seats for the rest of my life. I'm rich.
I mean, I think the goal was to get under his skin, not to get, almost punched in the face.
Because you don't believe that's a real possibility. And then when it happens, you're like, oh my God, I hit the lottery. You know what I mean? Like, did I just get struck by an NFL fan? You were stupid as shit for that. Like,
yeah, well, especially to walk out of your way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vic says, well, everyone is healthy for the Steelers, so Austin is back, so this could help us so much for the Ravens.
I mean, the thing about that is if it depends on which Ravens show up. If it's 2 weeks ago Ravens that they decided, hey, with a lead, we're just not going to run the ball anymore, then no, the Steelers probably win. If it's last week's where they're like, hey, you know what? Derrick Henry's the only guy going to touch the ball, and we're going to just run people over. That Steelers defense isn't ready for that.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, this is the healthiest Pittsburgh's been in probably 3 months. So they've got a real opportunity here. And the last time they played the Ravens, they didn't have Derek Harmon. There's been a stark contrast with Derek Harmon versus without. They're only allowing 86 yards rushing a game with him, and it's 186 a game without him. So that's a big difference, and that's why you draft a big defensive lineman like that in the first round of the draft to help your defense out.
Yep. And Arco, we're just getting right into that game right now with the 49ers versus Seattle. We're about to get into that. But first, James, you were talking about DK Metcalf and Hines Ward. Would Plaxico Burress be in like that conversation? Because he had a very good stretch with you guys as well.
He had a good career, but I feel like Plaxico just didn't stay there long enough to really establish himself as one of like the pillar Steeler wide receivers. He left and went to the New York Giants, and then of course made the mistake of shooting himself in the leg at a club.
I was going to say that.
Spending 3 years in jail and kind of ruining his own career by doing so, because he was still in his prime at that point. So he was very good.
I felt like he was known for taking plays off too, though.
Yeah, and honestly, for a 6'6" wide receiver, he couldn't win a jump ball to save his life. Like that he was one of those rare big guys who just couldn't figure out how to time it appropriately to high point a ball. Chase Claypool was like that too. He couldn't win a jump ball. He's 6'4" and had like a 40-inch vert, and he couldn't win a jump ball because he just couldn't stay on his feet and then time his jump well enough. So yeah, there was a lot of, man, if this guy could ever put it all together, my God, could he be incredible? But he was just very good instead of incredible.
Chase Claypool is a top 3 wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, just ask him, right?
And by the way, shout out to Kenneth Gainwell. He's got the best hands on the team. Where was that for the Eagles, man? I'm like, what?
In true Steeler fashion, man, he did that against Pittsburgh as an Eagle, which is why they wanted him so bad. They always want everybody that plays well against them. So he just won team MVP, by the way, Mitch. Kenny Gainwell, Steelers team MVP.
Are you? Hey, he's got a Super Bowl ring and now he's team MVP. Take it, take it. So, should Tomlin be on the hot seat with the loss? That was from Robert. Should he be on the hot seat?
I mean, he's going to be in the conversation, but the Steelers don't fire coaches like that. So I would fully expect Tomlin to be back.
They retire or conveniently expire.
Yeah, he has 2 more years on his contract, though.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. And they usually re-up his deal 2 years out. So if you see him not get an extension, then that's basically them admitting that they're moving on from him. But yeah, I don't see him getting fired. But I could see the ownership saying, okay, we're just not going to renew it. And then when it expires in 2027, we'll move on.
Yep. All right. Bo, let's get right into your Seahawks and the 49ers game. Give me your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely sloppy moments in it, but
yep.
But it was a good game, and it was what you expect out of a Seahawks San Francisco game, right? Like they were beating each other up. But it's a fun watch, right? And I guess the thing that was good about it is you knew we were locked into the playoffs either way. And whether you won or you lost, you basically had a first round bye because you're going to play the South. So it wasn't that stressful of a game to watch, but there were definitely moments where you're like, come on, like let's get something together here, because they could drive the ball and then they just couldn't quite finish. And so that was probably the part that was frustrating about that game. But the defense looked fantastic. So that's been the hallmark of this team all season. They looked good on defense. They had some decent plays on special teams. None of the dynamic ones we're used to seeing. But yeah, no, it was a good game.
Big C, any thoughts about the game last night?
I mean, Seattle put themselves in a very good position, number 1 seed. I think they're the favorite to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC right now. The only thing that worries me about them is Sam Darnold, the quarterback, but we shall see.
Yep. James?
Yeah, I mean, you got to love that position if you're a Seahawks fan. Uh, their crowd being absolutely well known for being one of the loudest stadiums in the entire NFL is a huge advantage going into the playoffs. You have to feel like they're going to be completely ready to go at every opportunity on every game. So that's a huge advantage. And it just felt like in this game, every time there was a crucial moment, the Seahawks players made the play. You know, the Niners were driving to try to get a touchdown to narrow the gap, and then they have a pass go off of McCaffrey's hands, and a linebacker picks it off the 3 yard line. And they're about to go in for a touchdown. That's as clutch and as crucial as it gets. So just those kind of moments happen to good teams. You know, the ball bounces your way when you're having a good season sometimes, and it's a lot about just putting yourself in the right position. I think on that play too, the ball was just barely tipped. And that's all it takes sometimes is that guy giving that every little bit of effort to reach as far as he possibly can to just get a tiny piece of the ball to make one of the best catching running backs in the league not properly catch it.
Yep. And Nikki?
Well, I got to give credit to the Seahawks. I thought the 49ers were going to win this game because technically this was a high stakes game, but the Seahawks went in there and took care of business. I mean, even as Sam Darnold said, they could have done more in the red zone, particularly in the first half, but they found a way to win and take care of business. And I got to give credit to their defense. They did a really good job keeping the Niners in check. And Christian McCaffrey, where was he in this game? I thought he was on the comeback, but not in this one. The Seahawks shut them down, took care of business, and Kenneth Walker, too, had a really good game. Let's give him props as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they did great. And the Seahawks built good. They built momentum for the playoffs, and they have a pretty good shot.
They get a bye week now.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you get back, and then you play the lowest winning seed from the wild card round, which could work in your favor. So, and if that does, then you got the NFC Championship game at home, and that could give an advantage. Even Robert said Darnold did not throw a pick, which is actually good because sometimes he's been prone to make those mistakes, even in victories, but not in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that was one of the things that I said was going to be a key to this game before it started, was the fact that San Fran doesn't have a pass rush. With Bosa and Warner being injured, they have like the 23rd or 24th ranked pass rush. And one thing we know about Sam Darnold is if he has time, he can pick you apart.
Yeah. And then Cat in the Hat, I love that name, Cat in the Hat 69. I love it. He goes, it don't matter, they're not getting past the Rams. So he's got the Rams above Seattle.
I mean,
I don't know.
They already beat the Rams, so
they already beat the Rams. Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. And then Robert also goes, maybe your Eagles could make it to Seattle for their final playoff game. Well, we're going to need a better offensive scheme for that first.
You're going to need an offensive scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better. We're still finding our identity. It's the last game of the season. So there's that.
And yeah, I know they split. And you know what happens when you split? It means you won one of the games.
Uh-huh. Yep. And actually, let's get right into this. Caleb Williams needs 270 passing yards versus the Lions to become the first Bears quarterback ever to throw for 4,000 yards in a season. Does he do that today against the Detroit Lions? Does he do that against the Lions today?
No. He's gonna be like 4 yards short just for entertainment value.
Dixie, what was that?
I said, why not? You know, the Lions been a major disappointment this year. I think that's a nice little stat for the Chicago Bears to have, is finally get someone to pass over that mark. The Chicago Bears don't have a a long history of elite quarterbacks. Obviously, by the stats, that's a very low totem pole to have this day and age in the NFL. So I think they go out and get it for him.
Mm-hmm. And
it's
Eagles
crazy.
And here's
Looking at
something
their
else for
history.
entertainment value. Bengals versus Browns. The Browns have no pass rush going. Right at the end of the game, Myles Garrett gets some pressure. He's about to get the sack, but either Burrow, Browning, or whoever evades him at the last second, gets rid of the ball, and ends up being either incomplete pass or a catch.
James, you were saying?
Oh yeah, with the Lions Bears game, the Bears' history at quarterback is just embarrassing.
Yeah.
when you go down and look at like most passing yards in a season, the most passing touchdowns in a season, it's so much lower than almost every other franchise out there. It's pretty incredible. But I think that Caleb absolutely does it this week. And it's more about this Lions secondary. Again, we've got three of the top four starters out. So talking both starting safeties and the number 2 corner, I believe all three of those guys are still out. The safeties, I think, are both on the injured reserve. To me, that spells an opportunity for Caleb to really light them up. And the Bears are really playing some good football at this stage at the end of the season. So I really think that this is the game where they finally start to knock some of those demons off, and brush some of that dirt off their shoulders and really monkey off the back. All the analogies, man. They're going to finally start getting some good offensive football out there.
Yeah, and Eagles are becoming Lions fans today. We need them to beat the Bears, so hopefully that will happen. We need that, and we need to win to get to the second seed.
Do the Bears have something to play for today?
I guess they win, they'll be the second seed. I guess, right, James? Right?
I'm looking at it right now because I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Yeah, now they're in position to be the number 2 seed.
That's the thing about week 18. Like, if you don't got on the play for, you might be seeing teams third string guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all seeding. They're the same record as Philly, so if they win in Philly, they're technically above them in the order right now. So if they win, they keep that number 2 seed.
So what teams have something to play for today, technically? The teams.
The Falcons game, right?
Playoffs.
Yeah, I think
Falcons can mess things up. Obviously, Steelers, Ravens for the division title and who goes in. And past that, I don't know if any of the other games really have any significant meaning today.
Yeah, but the Eagles, and today they benched everybody. Please explain that to me. We need the second seed and we're benching everybody. How does that make sense?
Sounds like they're more worried about player health than they are the number 2 versus the number 3 seed.
So is Jalen Hurts out, all that?
Yeah.
Are they afraid of the Niners? Is that what it is?
I don't know. They really are just. I hate when the Eagles do this. They do it like every year. Like, why? We got something to play for. This is pretty much the biggest game of the year against the Commanders who are injured. They're basically injured. Cowboys playing for pride today. Against the Giants? All right. Watch that thing. I actually picked the Giants. I actually picked the Giants to win today. That would be hilarious. But yeah, and here's another thing actually. Since the NFL started recording interceptions in 1933, no team has ever finished the season without an interception. The Jets will be the first if they do not get an interception today at Buffalo. Do they have a chance to pick off Josh Allen today?
No.
No? It's like no.
No. Better not. Just make history, please.
I kind of want them to pick off Josh Allen once. I just want to see their celebration after they get a pick. I was just going to say, it's kind of like with Joel Embiid last night. He finally got his first dunk of the season. Yeah, he got his first dunk of the season now. It's kind of crazy, but so what? Everyone's going no? They're not picking off Josh Allen.
This is their penance for trading away Sauce Gardner. You play a number one corner like that, and then you end up going with no interceptions the entire season. You kind of deserve it.
I forgot about that. Didn't he get injured too?
He might have once he was a Colt. Yeah.
I think he did get injured. Yeah, he's out for the year. Yeah. Damn, that sucks on both sides. Yeah. Is Bo back yet? Oh, there you are. I was on a different tab.
Sauce's record was great. What are you talking about? He's like 1-7 with the Jets, and then went 1-7 with the Colts.
Yep. The Sauce Gardner curse. That's what happened.
Bill should just do quick passes and runs. Just run the ball the whole time with James Cook. That would be funny. Wait, are they playing their starters today, or are they sitting out?
I haven't heard.
The Bills? I think
Yeah.
the Bills are playing their starters.
They kind of have to, right? Are they in, or
They're in.
oh, they're in? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, there's
true.
gonna be teams that are gonna start their players. Especially if they're struggling. Like the Rams have already said they're gonna be starting everybody because they're kind of backing into the playoffs, right? So they need they kind of need a get right game to get everybody back on track. They're playing Arizona, so I mean, it's a good team to do it against. But it just depends on where some of these teams are, right? Nobody likes to back into the playoffs. Like I wouldn't want to do that either. If I was a head coach, I'd be like, yeah, everybody's playing because you guys are 1-3 in your last 4. So we need to get back on track before we go do this for real.
yeah, it's kind of like the Eagles with the offense thinking majority of the season. Now they're benching everybody. Hey,
It looks like you guys got Josh Johnson you're going against, though. So Marcus Mariota's out with injury. So you ought to be able to beat Josh Johnson with your backups out there.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully we get this win. Hopefully. And Lions, get this win, please. Please get this win. Need that. All right. So let's just get right into trivia right now. Who is the only quarterback to start and lose Super Bowls with 2 different teams? Who's the here? I'm gonna
Start and lose Super Bowls with 2 different teams.
Yep. I'll give you guys the teams. It was the Cowboys and the Broncos. So this quarterback lost or has
the
lost.
starter?
Yeah. I'm gonna look up hints.
Cowboys and the Broncos, and he was the starter.
Yep.
That's going back then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
It's been a long time since it wasn't Elway or Manning in Denver.
I don't know if the Broncos ever went to a Super Bowl without Elway or Manning.
It was Craig Morton. The guy's name was Craig Morton. He played for.
And he was a starter,
Yep.
a quarterback.
Uh-huh. Yep. I'm looking at a picture of him right now. I'm looking at a picture of him right now throwing the ball.
which Super Bowl was that? Like,
Yeah, I don't believe it.
I don't believe. All right.
I mean,
Here.
that was single-digit Super Bowls. Is that?
The Broncos weren't in a Super Bowl. That when did they go to Super Bowl early?
No, exactly. That's what I'm.
And if it was the Cowboys early, it was Roger Staubach.
Yeah.
Or White, Danny White, right?
So it was Super Bowl. What is that?
He wasn't a starting
19
quarterback. You're wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Okay. No, 1970 and 1977 with the Broncos. 1970 with the Cowboys.
The
So there you
Broncos
go.
were in the 4th Super Bowl ever. 5th Super Bowl.
No, that's why I said they had to be single-digit Super Bowls.
Yeah.
What was,
So
do
when
you
I
remember
looked up, Mhm.
who'd they play in the Super Bowl? The Broncos.
I have to look it up. How would I
I'm sorry.
remember that?
I find it hard to believe.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, I mean, nobody
Um,
remembers the teams that lose, unless you do it historically, like the
Yeah.
Bills.
Or the Falcons. Or the
I mean, I
Falcons.
might be wrong. I could be wrong. I just don't remember. Like,
They lost to the Dallas Cowboys in 1978. 27 to
first?
10. That was the first one. That's what it says here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep,
That's what I got.
Starbuck and
Yep.
Drew Pearson and those guys.
So he
Yeah.
must have been replaced by Roger Staubach, and then Staubach beat him, which is hilarious.
Yep. And then who's the last non-quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP? It was
Sean Alexander.
No.
Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah.
Von Miller,
It was a
No.
wide receiver. It was a wide
Julian
receiver.
Edelman.
Mm-mm.
Oh, wide receiver.
Cooper Cup. Cooper
yeah,
Cup was
that's
the last
right.
one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then which franchise has gone the longest without a number one overall pick? There's a
Seattle,
couple.
they've never had it. Seattle's never had the
Yeah.
number one pick.
Seattle won. There's two other teams. James, you should get the. It's not your Steelers. It's not your Steelers, but it's someone in your division there.
The Ravens.
The Ravens
The Ra-
probably never had it. Yeah, they've been
The
good since they've
Ravens
been in the
never
league.
had it. They've
Yeah.
never. And this last team had Craig Morton as their Super Bowl quarterback.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
The
It's
Broncos.
got to be the Cowboy. The Broncos.
Broncos.
don't want- No, the Broncos didn't because LA was traded. You're right.
Yeah.
No, the closest the Seahawks have ever been is the number 2 overall pick.
That is crazy.
Oh yeah, Rick Meyer.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's funny because the year that we got the second overall pick, we had the same horrible record as the Patriots, which lets you know the era of how long ago this was. But they had the tiebreaker, so to speak. So they ended up with the number 1 pick.
Wow. It's crazy. And Michael comes in and goes, Dolphins need a clean house. James, you agree with that?
I'm going to say this is more of a question for Big C. to be
I'm
honest
sorry.
with
I'm
you.
sorry. I had a long night. Long night. Big G. Big G. Long.
Yeah, I mean, Miami has a few pieces, but for the most part, yeah, they do need to clean house. I mean, yeah, your best pass rusher is an aging guy. He's due a lot of money. There's not a lot of talent at the skill positions on the offensive side of the ball besides Devon Achane. He's coming up for a new contract. You go and give him a boatload of money. The running back position isn't a position that typically the NFL likes to dish out a boatload of money to guys. So do you try to trade him? Jalen Waddle, he's not a true number one wide receiver, and he's getting paid wide receiver 1 money. Question marks at the quarterback position. Mike McDaniel has not been up to par as far as being the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. So, yeah, pretty much you do need a complete teardown. You need to get the right people in the front office, and they need to find the right head coach, and you go from there. I don't think the Miami Dolphins target a quarterback in this draft because I think this is a weak quarterback draft besides Mendoza, and I believe Mendoza is probably going to be an Oakland Raider. So, a Las Vegas Raider, my fault. Yeah.
I still call them Oakland Raiders.
Same curse.
We had a good draft class last year. Try to build upon that. Draft best players available. Find your general manager. Find your head coach, and go from there.
Yeah, what draft pick do you think you guys will have?
Right now, I think we're at 11, so we're probably going to lose to the Patriots today. Devon Achane's not playing. Waddle's probably not going to play. Patriots still going for the number 1 seed. So we'll probably drop today's game. So probably 10, 11 somewhere,
Oh, wow. All right. And we actually had a question here. Where is it? Where was it?
It's which team had the most number 1 picks?
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is going to be in the Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
That being said, it's probably, it's got to be long-standing teams, right? So it's got to be like the Colts or the Bears or
The
something.
Colts are one of them. I just looked it up. Colts are
Okay.
one.
The Browns, one of them. They've had a ton of number 1 picks.
So you know why
No.
they're not? Is because they haven't been around the whole time.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
So Because that was my first thought. Just because immediately that jersey with 5 million names on it pops in my head. But at the same time, because they disappeared for a few years and then they became a new franchise and all, there's a lot of years that were missed in there. And so I think
Plus,
that's why
remember
they're not.
In the 80s, they were a good team that struggled in the playoffs. So they weren't getting number one picks in those years.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And this
but
other
the
team
Colts
is in the NFC.
The Colts were bad, right? Like they were a terrible team for a long time. I would imagine that the Patriots probably have their hat in the ring somewhere. The Rams are probably up there somewhere because
It's the Rams,
they had some really lean years also.
How many times?
You can always tell teams that have historically been bad because they're not in the city they were in before. The Colts and the Cardinals and the Rams and they've all moved around a bit.
Yep.
So
All right, and our coup goes, how many times the number one pick was a quarterback? I'll look that one up too.
that's a good question. That I have no idea.
I'm looking it up.
You got to figure it's darn near 50% of the time, though, right? I mean,
Probably more.
especially in more recent years, it seems like QB's almost always the number one guy.
Yeah, I guess if you're thinking back a ways, it was probably like running backs and stuff, right? So you're probably 50% ish.
There's a stretch of a lot of defensive linemen and stuff like that.
Wow.
Courtney Brown.
I just looked it up. My God. It was you guys want to guess or do you just want me to give it to you?
Yeah, what do you got?
What's the number? What's
40.
40%?
40 quarterbacks have been selected as the number one overall pick in the NFL draft 40 times.
Yeah.
Wow. That is just how many drafts were there then? If
that was going to be my next question, is how many drafts are they saying?
Yeah, I'm trying.
I thought it was going to be more like 2025.
So 40 has to be before the Super Bowl era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I could see a lot. Alex Smith, Jamarcus.
I say a
Russell,
quarterback Super Bowl era, maybe
Matthew Stafford, Sam
There's
Bradford,
been 90 drafts.
Cam Newton,
90 NFL
90?
drafts.
Andrew Luck.
Wow. Yeah, so it's almost 50%.
That is honestly great. 40? Wow.
Jameis Winston. Wait.
How many of them actually made an impact?
Probably 10 of those 40, right?
Jameis Winston, Tim Couch, Sam Bradford.
Johnny Manziel.
Well, he wasn't a number one pick though.
I thought he. Wow.
Yeah.
No, he went like 20s, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Browns had 2 first-round picks that year.
Yeah.
They got one from
That's right.
Indianapolis
Joe Thomas
with
was
the
their
Trent
first pick,
Richardson
right?
trade.
Yeah. All right. So next up, let's talk about a big game that's going to happen today. Actually, let's go with the Steelers and Ravens. There's a lot at stake in this game. So we're going to start with Big C and go around. What do you think about this game? Who you got, man? Am I on? Oh, Big C, you right there?
Yeah, what's up? Sorry.
You call us
No,
You drew a blank.
like you're just like,
Who do you
That's
send in
really
the
something.
draft? So, Big C, what do you think about this game tonight between the Steelers and the Ravens?
Listen, it's all about which of these teams show up. At times I think the Steelers have looked really good. At times, the Ravens have looked good, but the Ravens overall have been a disappointment in my mind. I thought they were going to run away with this division. Pittsburgh made a lot of moves to put themselves in a Super Bowl position. I wasn't in love with the Aaron Rodgers move, but at the same time, what else were they going to do at quarterback? The Steelers are at home tonight.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of controversy going on with, Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh right now. And, I think they got some external issues that they got to work out. So I'm favoring Pittsburgh in this game. I think the loss of DK Metcalf's a huge hit to the Steelers, but it all depends what team shows up. You know, if they go out and if the Ravens go out and rush Derrick Henry 25 times and use Lamar Jackson the way Lamar Jackson's the most dangerous, they can absolutely go out there and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if they go off the game plan and don't give the ball to Derrick Henry, you know, Aaron Rodgers is a all-time great quarterback, and you know, the Steelers team can definitely beat them. So I'm favoring the Steelers in this one.
All right. Bo.
Yeah, I'm kind of going the other way. I think this is one where the Ravens get it done. I don't love the Steelers defense, and Derrick Henry is, if they're going to rush him 25, 30 times, like we've watched this over the last few years, they win. It's when they get cute and rush him 16 times or less, they catch an L almost every time. So it's really going to depend on, is Harbaugh trying to win this game or not? Because if we can see this on film, I'm not sure how they keep missing it. But if they give you a lot of Derrick Henry, every defense wears down with that guy running at you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nikki.
Yeah, as you guys said, Derrick Henry is the big key. We saw that last week, how they obliterated the Packers, something that, you know, they have not consistently backed off of all season, and it shows. But if they can do that tonight, they got a good chance of beating the Steelers. So that's going to be the big X factor for this game, the Ravens' offensive game plan.
All right, James.
Tough for me to disagree with anybody in this room here. You know, I don't feel confident going into this game that Pittsburgh's going to come away with it because they've just been so up and down this year. You know, you look at their game versus the Colts and they hold Jonathan Taylor to his lowest output of the year. They play the Lions. They only have 17 yards rushing for the entire team. And then they play the Bills and give up over 250. And it just seems like you don't know which rushing defense you're going to get from week to week. They're trending in the right direction lately, so I feel good about that. They're about as healthy as they've ever been. So there's a chance. I will give them that. There is a chance. I don't feel incredible about it, and I would feel a lot better if they had DK Metcalf and they weren't in a situation where they could possibly be made one-dimensional. The loss of Darnell Washington was huge, too, with that broken arm. He's out for the year unless they can somehow make a play all the way to the Super Bowl. Then he would be eligible to come back off of the injured reserve. That's assuming he's healthy enough to do so. I wouldn't even expect that because it did require surgery on that broken arm. It's tough when two of your biggest weapons offensively are gone. But I do think that Pittsburgh has the capability to do this. So confidence level, but they can do it. They've shown this year that they can do it.
I got 2 words for you, James. Kenneth Gainwell. That's all I got.
That's it, man. That's me, Kenny.
So I've been seeing it in the chat a lot. If the Baltimore Ravens lose, Harbaugh will be on the hot seat. Do you guys agree with that? If the Ravens lose, will Harbaugh be gone?
He should be on the hot seat anyway. And for the exact reason I had just talked about, is he just, over the last few years, has not used his personnel particularly well. Like when you look at the last couple of years when they flamed out in the playoffs, they just didn't use their running back, didn't have designed plays for the running back, and they were the number 1 rushing team in the league. So for you to basically outcoach yourself and make yourself one-dimensional is a coaching issue, right? Like that's not personnel. And then you look at, 2 games ago against the Patriots, they were up 11, and then the final 8 minutes, Derrick Henry's not even on the field. And it's like, okay, even if you were thinking maybe he's tired or whatever, right? Let's pretend that something like that was going on. You still put him on there as a decoy, right? Everybody has to respect the fact that he's out there, and instead he sat the bench. The final 2 drives, they give that game away. So I think he's on the hot seat. At the same time, it's not really an organization that fires people. And then even if you do, is the guy you're bringing in going to be an upgrade? I think that's where the Tomlin conversation always stalls out too, is like he's 19 seasons without a losing record. who are you going to bring in that's going to at least duplicate that? And so I think that's where Harbaugh kind of survives on past success is your next guy needs to be better than the guy you're getting rid of.
Nikki.
I do think if it's gotten to that point where Harbaugh has gotten complacent, they've become either a team that's either on the cusp or they get in the playoffs and they struggle. And even the best coaches eventually get to that point where you got to move on from them. You see, perfect example was one of my division rivals, the Cowboys. They parted ways with Tom Landry, which was controversial at the time, but in the long term, they got a much needed fresh start. So sometimes that can work out in your favor. It's all about, sometimes you also got to be patient with those rebuilds too. Can't just expect a slam dunk as soon as you part ways. Sometimes you got to be willing to go through the rebuild to get better in the future.
Yep. James.
Yeah, it's got to be a hot seat if they don't win today. And it's a lot of what everybody's already talked about here. But also you have to look at it and say that he's got one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. So to not be making playoff pushes and making extended runs into the playoffs appears to be a waste of the prime of Lamar Jackson's career. He's about to turn 29 years old in a couple of days here. Once you get into that 30-plus years old, that athleticism isn't the same as what it was in your 20s. You start to lose a step, and then he's going to rely a lot more on his passing, which he's had years where he's been an elite passer, but he's had a lot of years where he hasn't been also. So when you're getting into that stage of his career where he has to rely more on his passing, man, you better have a real complete team around him. And it's just kind of some of the moves lately have been a little odd to me. Extending the older tight end and moving on from the younger one seems like kind of an odd move. I probably would have stuck with Likely, being that he's only like 25 years old instead of the 30-year-old tight end in front of him. And it comes down to a lot of this too, like the lack of usage of Derrick Henry in key moments is crazy. But this dude is fumbling at a crazy rate too. Like, he fumbles way more than some folks realize, and I think that's part of what happens is that he fumbles early in a game, and it push comes to shove at the end, and Harbaugh's just not convinced he isn't going to fumble again. And he'd rather play a less talented guy that he has more confidence in not fumbling than his better guy who he knows does fumble at odd times. So it's a slippery slope on that. You know, I think Pittsburgh has a similar concept with Jaylen Warren. He's definitely their best running back, but he does fumble once in a while. Gainwell doesn't put the ball on the ground, so he gets the ball a lot more than a lot of Steelers fans like to see. I think it's a similar situation there in Baltimore where sometimes in those moments he's just going to the other guys because he's worried Derek's going to fumble again.
Well, and Cat in the Hat there is right. The fumbling issue is new for this year. Like he's historically not a terrible ball handler, but yeah, especially early this season, like he had some issues. Obviously, he did have a fumble the other day, and then rattled off like 200 yards rushing anyway.
Yeah, Big C.
I mean, I kind of feel like John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are kind of the same. You know what I mean? Like they've been with their respective teams a long time. High level of success. It seems like they're always in the playoffs. Yeah, they're having issues with Lamar Jackson. They definitely underperformed this year. I don't know if I would throw them on the hot seat and be willing to break this team up quite yet. I can't put my finger on exactly what was wrong with this team this year. I expected more. I thought that, you know, at the beginning of the season, there was a ton of injuries and they just never seemed to get on track. So I don't know if, you know, things just didn't go the way they wanted at the beginning of the season. They just never gained their footing, but I wouldn't say that he's on the hot seat this year or that he should look to replace him quite yet. I mean, if we see another season of this, then absolutely. But unless they're going to trade Lamar Jackson and just tear this thing down completely, you know, I think he's probably safe for another season.
On that fumble topic, real quick before we move on, he's got 4 fumbles this year with 3 of them lost. Had 3 fumbles last year. none in 23, but 6 fumbles in 2022 with 3 of them lost. So it's kind of like the last 4 years, he's just trending in the wrong direction with these fumbles.
Yeah. He's got to clean that up. He's got to clean that up for sure. That's definitely one of the reasons that maybe with John Harbaugh too. I mean, Derrick Henry's got to clean that up, and John Harbaugh's got to put him in situations where they could succeed.
You know,
that's where it comes down.
Last year when you said he had 3, right?
Yeah, but only 1 loss, so that's good.
Well, and then also when you look at his usage rate last year, I mean, he was handed the rock nonstop. So the fact that that hasn't been true this year is, the 3 versus the 4 look wildly different when you look at the number of touches year to year.
Fair.
Yep. All right. Wait. I think. Mendoza offer is Waddle and 2 firsts to the Giants. You have to try it. All right.
The Giants aren't going to have the first pick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Raiders aren't going to win today. They'll do everything they have to make sure they lose.
Yeah. They're benching everybody.
Right. So yep. Let's go into the upset of the week. So if you guys had to pick one out of these games today, who would be the upset for the week?
Entertainment value, it's got to be the Saints.
I was going to say that, yeah. Because then
Tampa gets into the playoffs and Carolina goes on this run at the end and then still misses.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Nikki?
Upset of the week. Let's see. What would be some other good? It would be, I don't think it's actually going to be the case, but Jets over the Bills would be hysterical, but I don't think that's going to happen.
That would be funny.
Yeah, realistically, maybe the Vikings over the Packers with the way the Packers defense has struggled without Parsons could be the case. Maybe. I could see the Saints over the Falcons as realistic upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona could mess around and beat LA.
Yeah.
That would be hysterical.
And don't forget as well, the Colts in Houston, that could be one. Tennessee and Jacksonville, that'll be you know what? I'm not a big fan of Trevor Lawrence. Give me Tennessee over Jacksonville. That one's mine. James, you got one?
I can see the Browns beat the Bengals today. Not that it would be a massive upset, but just neither team really has a ton to play for, except for certain players who are trying to prove that they're worthwhile to stay on a team or have a larger role next year. And I think probably one of the guys that has the most to prove right now is Shedeur Sanders. If he can finish out the season strong, he's going to gain some confidence inside that locker room and inside that front office possibly as well. Their loss last week really screwed them in getting outside of the top 5 in the NFL draft. So they might not be in a position to draft a quarterback now. So Shedeur's got a very, very real chance and opportunity in front of him today if he can take advantage of it.
Big C, how about you?
So many games the starters aren't playing and stuff. I
know, right?
Man. Yeah, I mean, if Shedeur plays a great game, he sets himself up for the future, right? It shows that the Cleveland Browns may have their quarterback of the future. This guy was supposed to be a top 10 draft pick, and he fell to the 5th round, and he has a real opportunity. That Cincinnati defense is bad. How much are these Cincinnati Bengals going to show up to play? I think Joe Burrow is about ready to get home. And
Flacco's starting.
Oh, Flacco's starting? Oh yeah, then. Oh yeah, then Cleveland 100%.
So he gets to do something funny though, because he started the season beating the Bengals as a Brown, and now as a Bengal he could beat the Browns.
That would be hysterical.
All right.
As long as he doesn't get sacked, I don't care.
His smile.
Yep. And then the locks of the week, I'm going Bills. I'm going Bills as my lock. Patriots.
I'm going with the Broncos. The Chargers are sitting most of their starters. The Broncos are playing for the number 1 seed.
Yeah, Herbert's out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bo, you're going with that too?
I'll go with KC since the Raiders are literally putting nobody on the field. Like they're just gonna have some road cones with a helmet.
All right. James, what about you?
Man, that's the best one. So I'm jealous he got to that one first. I'll take the Bills over the Jets today. The Jets have been pretty much one of the most pathetic teams all season, and it seems like the Bills are going to play their starters. So
All right. And Nikki.
Give me the Bills over the Jets. Don't even waste any more time on it.
All right. So let's get to our predictions. Saints at the Falcons. I'm going Saints. I don't care. It's the last week. Give me the Saints. Tyler Shaw. I don't know. Give me the Saints.
I'm going to go with the Saints in this one.
I'm going Falcons, but I would like to be wrong.
Right.
And honestly, I do like what we're seeing out of the Saints over the last few weeks. Shook looks like he could be a real option there. So
yeah.
I like what the Saints are doing. Atlanta is so wildly inconsistent. You don't know which team's showing up, but with them actually using Bijan over the last few weeks, I think Atlanta gets it done.
All right, James.
it won't shock me if the Saints win today. So I'm going to go with them.
And Big C.
I'm going with Atlanta. Atlanta's the more talented team, so you would think that they would win. So,
all right, Big C, right back at you. Browns, Bengals.
going with the Browns. Shador Sanders has the most to play for in this game, in my opinion. He can really set himself up nicely for the future.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nikki.
I'm actually going to go with the Browns in this one.
All right, James.
I've got the Browns too. It's kind of a layup for Shador today. This is the worst defense in the NFL with the Bengals, so he really should look good in this game.
All right, and Bo.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the Flacco-led Bengals gets to do something funny, and then also he's trying to be on a roster again next year. So I think Flacco's going to come out kind of inspired to get that last win of the season.
He just wants to get the win for his grandkid.
That's
He
right.
just wants a good win for him. So
Yep, and then maybe call it a career.
I have the Bengals right now. I'm thinking about going to the Browns. Yeah, give me the Browns. I want to see Myles Garrett actually get that career sack, the record-breaking sack. I want to see that.
Think he gets it. He just gets it in a loss.
I don't care if he wins or loses. I think one him to get it. All right, Packers at the Vikings. I got the Packers here. But what about you?
I went with the Vikings. Here. Green Bay also kind of all over the place. They're going to be in the playoffs regardless, so I fully expect them to maybe rest a guy or two.
All right. Nikki.
I'll go with the Packers in this one.
James?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings today also. A lot of what Bo said there with the starters resting. It looks like Vikings are 12.5-point favorites in this one.
And Big C.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings too.
All right. And right back at you. Cowboys at the Giants.
Is there anybody starting? I guess Cowboys. I don't know. I don't know who's playing.
This is always a tough week to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to do my FanDuel right now. That's what.
All right. James.
I'm going to go Cowboys in this too. Just not much to think that the Giants will win.
Nikki.
I'll go with the Cowboys.
Bo.
Yeah, I went Cowboys also. Giants are doing nothing.
I can't stand either team, but it comes down to who I hate more, and it's the Cowboys. So give me the Giants. I'm going with the Giants this week. If the Giants win this week, I'm gonna look like a genius. All right, Jaguars at Tennessee at Jacksonville. I'm taking Jacksonville here. Bo?
Yeah, there's a lot on the line for Jacksonville, so they're going to be playing everybody. And Tennessee, although shows signs of life randomly, really aren't a talented team. So yeah, Jacksonville should kind of beat the brakes off them.
Oh, it looks like Big C bounced.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Nikki.
Let's see. Tennessee and Jacksonville. Give me the Jaguars in this one.
All right. James?
Yeah, I'm not sure the 13.5 is high enough on this.
Right, right.
Jaguars by 20 today.
All right. And then James, right back at you. Colts, Texans.
I don't know what the Colts have to play for. Philip Rivers, it seems like he's already happy with what he's done on this comeback and is ready to go back off into retirement. So I'll take the Texans.
All right, Nikki?
I mean, Philip Rivers, I'll say this. I feel like he's done enough to inspire the kids he's coached. But I got to go with the Texans in this one because they're still playing for something, at least I think.
And then we got Joe in the chat. Jacksonville winning 80-2.
There's a chance, Joe.
Hey, safety. We actually get to see a safety. All right, Bo.
Yeah, I mean, even if the Texans don't start any of their offense, they're going to beat up on the Colts. They're starting their rookie Riley Leonard. Philip Rivers is done. He's not playing this week. So just from the defensive side alone, you're going to have the Texans absolutely win this game.
Yep, I got the Texans as well. And then Jets, Bills. I think we're all going Bills here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bills.
absolutely.
All right. James, you're going to start with you on this one. Lions, Bears.
I'll take the Bears. And like I said earlier, I think big game from Caleb Williams. They need to gain some momentum going into the playoffs here and get people to take them serious. So I think you get a statement game here, and Caleb goes for over 300 today.
All right, Nikki.
Give me the Bears over the Lions. Lions are dead, metaphorically.
Yeah. Bo.
Yeah, I have the Bears. I have Caleb Williams going for 225.
All right. Lions, I need you to win, but I'm going Bears.
Yep.
I need you to win, but I'm going Bears. All right. Chargers at Denver. Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody going Chargers?
No, I mean, they're resting everybody, so.
Yeah. 14% picked the Chargers.
That was probably before they realized nobody's going to play.
Yeah. All right. James, I'm just going to start with you then. Chiefs, Raiders. I think we're all going Chiefs, right?
Yeah, the Raiders have everything to lose for. Literally, they lose the number 1 overall pick if they win today, so they have to do everything possible to make sure they lose.
They're getting Mendoza's locker ready. They're just making sure his locker's right there, all spotless.
Start printing the jerseys now. Just ask him what number he wants.
Yep.
Yeah, Nikki, you got
Nikki,
you got Chiefs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kansas City.
All right. And then I also got the Chiefs. Cardinals at the Rams. I'm taking Rams. I don't know about you guys.
Get right game here.
Rams.
James.
Yeah, got to be the Rams today.
All right. Dolphins at the Patriots. Patriots for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have the number 1 seed on the line, so Patriots are coming with it. And Miami, I think, is also resting people too, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what Big C said earlier. Yep.
So.
All right. Nikki. Patriots.
Yeah, I'll go Patriots.
All right. James.
Yeah, same. Even if the Dolphins were playing everybody, I'd still go Patriots.
Yep. And then James, Commanders at the Eagles.
It would be really fun to play heel and take the Commanders in this one, but I won't do that. I won't do that. I don't believe it either, so I'll take the Eagles.
All right. Nikki?
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then you'll have those fans that fall for the Tanner McKee discussion.
Lord.
Yeah, the Eagles. Like, this isn't even really a conversation. Like,
All right,
everybody for Washington. I mean, they've been a bad team for the second half of the season.
All right. Last game, Ravens, Steelers.
I got the Ravens. I got the Ravens giving you a big dose of Derrick Henry before they forget how to use him next week.
I'll go with the Ravens. So with that, I got to get going. So thanks for having me on. Have a great day.
Yep, we're just about to wrap it up here. See you, Nick.
Take care. See ya.
And then, James, who you got?
I have to take the Ravens today. And the reason I have to take the Ravens is because the last 3 times the Steelers won, I went against them. And when I took the Browns, took them to beat the Browns last week, the Browns pulled off the upset. So morally, I absolutely have to pick the Ravens to win today so that the Steelers can pull it off.
I like that you are just accepting you're the bad luck.
It holds true the last 4 weeks, so I got to stick to it here.
And then I also got the Ravens here. I feel like they got to win. If not, Harbaugh's coaching job is at stake. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. And with that being said, guys, thank you all for tuning in for the NFL Sunday Morning Show. Very good show today. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Bo, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, now we're back at the full gambit of stuff, right? So it's back to covering stuff and being on, the daily shows and all that. So it's nonstop battle. If you're watching on my channel, also be sure to like and subscribe.
All right, and James.
Yeah, we'll still be doing a recap show this week. It just depends on whether or not there's a playoff run, as if we stay twice a week or go to once. Once the season ends for Pittsburgh, we'll go to once a week on Saturday mornings.
All right. And as for me, I'm streaming the Eagles game today. And that's about it for me for today. And other than that, like, share, subscribe once again. And we'll catch you all later, guys. Have a good Sunday of football, even though it's last week. Peace, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.